Kalabhairava Yogi. It was during Swamiji's birthday celebrations. One afternoon, at about 2 o'clock, Swamiji, instead of being inside meditating, was sitting on the west side of the ashrama close to the coconut grove, near a tara tree, chit-chatting with Chandrasekharaya, Shivaram and a few others. Most of the visitors were taking an afternoon siesta. A small hut with a thatched roof was built here under this tree. This was a favorite cool spot for Swamiji during the hot afternoon hours of the summer. Swamiji had actually wanted his personal residence to be a thatched roof hut, but since it would require a lot of expensive maintenance, the devotees advised him against it. Swamiji had another chair brought and placed near him. No one usually sits on a chair next to Swamiji. But, distracted by the conversation and the jokes of Swamiji, no one really paid any attention to this strange request. Just then, a stranger walked into the ashrama and proceeded to walk straight towards where Swamiji was seated. Noticing that Swamiji had turned his head to gaze in that direction, the others also turned to look. The stranger did not look like an ordinary person. He was dressed like a cross between a tribal king and a magician. With matted hair tied in a knot on the top of his head, with a mark in the shape of a half moon on his forehead, a variety of bead necklaces around his neck, a water pot in one hand and a staff with a half moon tip in the other, a tiger skin mat under his arm, the yogi walked in majestically. The glow in his eyes was fierce. The boys got frightened at the sight. Even Swamiji stood up to receive him. The stranger asked in a commanding tone as he approached.
Are you Sachchidananda?
Swamiji nodded. The boys wanted to say something, but Swamiji gave them a signal to keep quiet. The yogi observed the eye signal and looked satisfied that the boys obeyed the command. Swamiji offered a seat to the yogi. Silently, the yogi sat down. The boys felt that the yogi must be someone special, that he was receiving such an honor from Swamiji. Swamiji and the yogi gazed at each other. The eyes of the yogi were turning angrier, while Swamiji's eyes were getting calmer.
What level of sadhana have you achieved?
The yogi thundered.
There are some mantras that are a part of my family tradition. I have been chanting those a little bit.
Swamiji answered reverentially.
It doesn't matter what mantras they are. What is the siddhi that you have achieved?
Enough to share some good thoughts with those around me.
Why do you evade the question? Do you recognize me?
Swamiji did not answer.
Do you recognize my upasana?
Why would it concern me?
Chandrasekharaya, who was standing a few feet away, lost his self-control. He spat on the ground in disgust and began screaming at the unacceptable behavior of the yogi. Swamiji shouted at him and ordered him and his friends to move away.
You saved them today by asking them to move away, but you cannot come to their rescue all the time.
I tell them that if they chant the names of God, God will protect them.
Why do you call yourself a guru?
It just happened like that.
There is no use being a guru if you cannot foresee the dangers ahead and protect your disciples. You cannot even recognize my upasana and you don't even recognize me. You do not deserve to be called a guru.
Yes, sir.
That is not enough. Call your disciples immediately and say to them, I have no right to be a guru. I am not a guru. Go and find somebody else. My Guru, Kalabhairava Mahadev, has sent me here. He could not stand cheats like you deceiving innocent people.
But there is a problem. Even if I do as you say, these foolish people will think that I am just trying to test them and they will hold on to me even tighter. They won't leave.
You have kept them under a delusion.
May I make a small request?
What is it?
The most compassionate Kalabhairava Mahadeva has sent you here. I would beg you to please take charge of me as well as my disciples. You tell me what I should do and I will pass on your teachings to all these people and put them all on the right path.
Swamiji prayed with folded hands.
How clever! You want to steal my knowledge and want to pretend as if you are a great teacher.
Oh, not at all, Swami. Am I not pleading with you with folded hands?
That is not enough. Accept me as your Guru. I will protect all of you.
As you say, sir.
You must wash my feet first and then pour that water on your head.
Yes, sir.
Swamiji himself went inside the hut and brought a pot of water and a large plate. He placed the yogi's feet on the plate and pouring the water from the jug, began washing the feet with total concentration, rubbing them gently with both palms. Within a second, the yogi let out a scream with pain.
Oh, ouch! My God!
Screaming, he started writhing in anguish in his seat, unable to even get up.
Oh, God! Ouch!
Swamiji continued calmly to wash his feet with the utmost concentration, totally undeterred. As the washing continued, the water in the plate began to turn bright red. After a while, the yogi fell exhausted and was unable to even scream. He began to moan and groan and pant for breath. The boys came running upon hearing the screams. They stood watching this most unusual scene, not knowing what to do or say. Swamiji washed the yogi's feet until the jug was empty. He pushed aside the plate and devoutly dried the yogi's feet with his own upper cloth. As the feet got dry, the yogi's discomfort worsened. Unable to even sigh or gasp, he simply sat slumped and stared at Swamiji. Swamiji slowly stood up and said,
Please give me initiation, Swami.
Oh, great one! Oh, save me! Save me! Please save me! It is enough that you have drained all the energy from my body. Please do not drain out my life force.
With tears streaming from his eyes, the yogi tried to offer a salutation to Swamiji with raised hands, but failed in his attempt.
Why do you get so disheartened? Please be seated comfortably. When you feel more composed, you may begin the initiation.
Why do you have to continue hitting a dead snake with your powers? You have drained all the energy from the channels inside me, all the way from the Brahmarandra to the sole of my feet. I am experiencing pain as if I'm being stung by 1,000 scorpions, being bitten by thousands of snakes. This body of mine cannot withstand any more agony. This one that is inside cannot remain any more in its cage. Please forgive me. I was rude and ignorant.
The yogi saw that gradually his strength was returning to him. He jumped from his seat and said,
You are my Guru. Oh, Guru, please show compassion on this poor, wretched soul. Guru Murti, save me.
He fell flat on his stomach with a thud at the feet of Swamiji. Swamiji quickly dodged and stepped away. He did not allow the yogi to touch his feet. The yogi repeatedly prostrated to Swamiji, chanting some strange spells. Swamiji waited until he calmed down. Then he instructed the devotees to carefully take the plate of water and empty it into the canal at the end of the property. He said,
"Take this plate of water very carefully and empty it in the drain. Be sure not to spill even one drop."
A young devotee came forward to take the plate. Swamiji brushed him aside and asked Chandrasekharaya to do the job instead. Chandrasekharaya carefully transferred the water into a larger vessel and did as he was told. Meanwhile, a young devotee brought a mat for Swamiji to sit on the floor under the tree. Swamiji sat on it and asked the yogi who had remained standing to also sit down. After being told repeatedly by Swamiji, the yogi finally sat down.
"What brings you here?"
Swamiji questioned him.
Guru, I am frightened to open my mouth, lest I might say something wrong. But since it is your command, I have to obey it. I will try to explain to you why I have come here. Please forgive me if I should say something wrong. You are the all-knowing. You know my life history already. You know everything about me. What more can I say?
How is it any of your concern whether I have divine vision or not?
My Guru, please pardon me for my mistakes. I have no more power left inside me. I have no pride left. What you have said is true. I will try to obediently answer your question. As a matter of fact, my Guru, whenever he wanted to tell me off, used to say the same thing that you have said. Why do you have to test to see whether I have divine vision or not? I am so excited to hear you repeating that same statement. As long as my Guru was alive, he would not let me go on any pilgrimage. In the Tantric tradition, he gave me the best possible Upadesha, and he said, you can achieve mantra siddhi very easily. The deities will be under your control. But when I requested his permission to use the powers achieved for universal welfare, he always said, I will let you know when the time comes. I was aware that if I disobeyed my Guru, all my powers would fly away from me like the birds that open their wings and fly away from their mother. That is why I remained still like a snake caught in the charm of the mantra. But one fine day, without giving any warning, my Guru left his mortal frame. He died without advising me on what I should do next. I had no right to do anything without first obtaining his permission. Not knowing what to do next, I started wandering around the world. I have seen the sorrow, the diseases, the cheating wherever I went. People are committing sins. If I had the orders from my Guru, I could have corrected a number of problems faced by these men. But I do not have any such orders. I am therefore roaming around in distress. Luckily, I came near your ashrama. I was curious to find out what the power was that this ashrama had. I saw the strong Brahma Rakshasa going around your ashrama. I concluded that if you had the power to control the evil spirits for your benefit, it would not be difficult for you to attract people towards you using the Yakshini Vidya Tantras. Whatever I did later was only out of a momentary fit of anger and not anything deliberately planned. I thought that I had not disobeyed my Guru's command and that I was only using the power from the mantras that I had learnt. I did not imagine for a moment that you were a Yogeshwara, capable of draining the energy from all my nadis and channels. After seeing you drain my long accumulated mantra shakti within seconds, I felt like a rabbit caught in the mouth of a lion. Gurudeva, I know your power now. I realized my faults also. I am not worried about the energy that has been drained out of me. I am only sorry for the mistakes that I have committed. I would like to worship you as my Guru. Please let me travel in the path of truth which you have so successfully walked upon. Please be compassionate towards me.
Saying these words, the yogi fell flat at Swamiji's feet once again and simply remained there.
Please sit up.
Swamiji said. The yogi humbly obeyed with folded hands. In a serious tone of voice, Swamiji spoke.
It is easy to be meek when you are drained of all your powers. Your addressing me as Gurudeva doesn't give me any pleasure. It is a threat to the world when people like you possess such powers. That is why I had to do this. You may go now.